Hello, everybody, and welcome to the TARDIS Zone. And this is the TARDIS Zone Talks, and we're here to discuss the Herald article in Scotland. When Doctor Who finally dies, the BBC will have blood on its hands. Very strong words indeed. Now, I have linked the article in the link description. If you just want to read it, I have to get it up now again because I accidentally took it off the screen, not on the screen, but on me here because I'm reading it from. Oh no, I'm actually reading it from my phone. What am I doing? But the link is in the article. I'm not going to throw the link up because you know how funny the media are with me. Just to say, obviously, over the last couple of weeks, it's been a very interesting time in the Doctor Who fandom and, of course, for the show with all the rumours spinning around on the future of Doctor Who. And then we get all of this stuff. Now, I'm just going to say something here. The same thing happened during the Jodie Whittaker era when it was becoming very clear that Jodie was actually leaving, and then they start putting out a load of positive articles or articles to distract you. Now, I have put up all the promos. I've given me opinion on them and stuff like this. But be under no illusion, folks, right? All of this, I'm not quite so sure that BBC or Disney were going to promote season 2 as they are now. I think they've been kind of forced into doing it now. I know the show was coming back next month, but they still had a little bit. Listen, the promotion for this, I think people, even who don't agree with me all the time, will admit that the promotion for this season has been absolutely shocking, right? So I believe there's a bit of diversion tactics going on to keep fans from talking about the fact that this show is actually in a lot of trouble. And it is. And no matter what people say out there, right, Doctor Who is in trouble. And unless fans finally face that fact, right, we're not going to get anywhere, okay? It'll never get anywhere if fans don't start speaking up, okay? The bottom line is it's in dire straits right now. And yeah, man. Did you notice, man? Yeah, I'm back to the StreamYard, Brandon. It's heartbreak. It's killing me, man. Can't I just yeah, things are just gone very bad. That I can't even afford fucking StreamYard. But look, we carry on and we persevere. I've only got 5 hours a week or something, or a month or whatever it is. So I think it's a week or something, but I have to try stretch it out now. Which is very hard for me because you know me, I like to talk quite a lot. But as I said, you know, we've got the Radio Times, Digital Spy, all coming out with the usual bullshit articles, you know, how the show needs to be woke and, you know, all of this other stuff that's been coming out to distract fans from the rumors. That's all this is, right? That's all this is. But let's get back to reality, because the reality of the situation is that this show is in a heap, right? It's in a jock, okay? And nobody can deny that. And the fact that there's still people out there trying to spin because a certain age demographic watches Doctor Who. Okay, that's fair enough, but then you've alienated all the other people that used to watch Doctor Who. So how can you claim it's successful if you have alienated most of the British public or older fans of Doctor Who? You know what I mean? It can't be successful. And it isn't. And it's reflected in the ratings, okay? They haven't... Look, I've even noticed the spin. Don't mind the independent ratings over in America. They don't matter. It's the UK ratings that matter. Do they? Okay, well, if the UK ratings matter, then 2.5 to 3.1 million an episode is not good enough. It's not good enough, okay? For me, in this day and age, in this climate, right, Doctor Who, for me to be successful, as I said, would have to get 8 million a week consistently. And by the way, anybody out there thinks that they can't get 8 million consistently in the overnights, you're deluded. Okay, they've done it with other shows, right? They've done it with other shows. Call the Midwife. They've done it with the show that Daniel used to watch. What was it? The cop show. Him and Charlotte were reviewing. What was that cop show? In the Line of Duty, wasn't it? Line of Duty was consistently getting millions of views each week. When you write a good show, the people will tune into the BBC. That's the thing. Okay? And this is all that's missing from Doctor Who. You get someone in that actually cares about the bloody IP, right? And actually wants to do right by it, right? Yeah, it's going to take a while for that new showrunner and the people that he gets to win over this fandom again because of the damage that's been done by the previous two. But it's not impossible. It's not impossible. It's Line of Duty. That's it, Daniel. Line of Duty. Right? So, you know, consistently written well, that show. And I heard it's coming back now. So, you know what I mean? BBC have shown that if they really care, right, and they really want something to work, it can work. Okay? This is just, to me, them even going to Disney was lazy, right? Easier to get money off someone else, easier for them to kind of take the burden, and we could just sit back and reap the rewards sort of thing. But they haven't reaped any rewards, and neither has Disney. So it's backfired. But there's lots wrong with this show. And, you know, you've seen the recent listen, I don't want to make a big deal out of this, and I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. I did my little diss song, and I put up the post. That's all I really want to say in it, except for this. It just goes to show you, though, how thin of a skin that these people that work on Doctor Who actually have. I asked a legitimate question to BBC Doctor Who's page, right? And I asked, is there any more straight people? Is there any straight people on this show anymore? Right? I think that was a legitimate question to ask in the current climate that Doctor Who is in, with the casting, the writers. Look at them all; they're all LGBTQ+. Right? There might be one or two that isn't LGBTQ+, but the majority are LGBTQ+. And I think it was a legitimate question to ask. And Ryland decided to come in and write under me comment, don't tell me wife, as if that was some sort of comeback. And then we had little baby Ballstreck then, thought he was being a smart ass, saying, oh, I didn't think this was on me bingo card, Ryland putting holes on his place or whatever it was. And then I responded to him that says, no, what it showed me is that he's just a little bitch. He got triggered by someone that's a nobody, right? He's a celebrity. I'm a nobody. I just do YouTube and I go to me protests and I do whatever I do, right? And he had such a thin skin that he responded to me. And I responded back in kind to him anyway. You saw me response, right? And I meant it. I hope you are proud. And I'll actually add this as well, Ryland. And this is actually aimed at you. How can you feature in an episode of the writer Juno Dawson, who said being gay was a consolation prize? So how can you actually, say that you stand up for LGBTQ+ rights when you're actually featuring in an episode of an absolute homophobe and a vile and disgusting individual who did not leave Twitter, was suspended off Twitter? And I showed the receipts, by the way, because unlike other people out there, I actually showed the receipts, and I showed them on X, right? And I showed them on here in a little video here, right? They were suspended for bullying a 13-year-old child on X because they didn't agree with other people's opinion in relation to that 13-year-old child. Right? So how can you sit there, Ryland, and say that you support all of this when you're actually starring in an episode written by that fucking creature? Shame on you. And shame on all you other bleeding ticks as well. Right? That'll come out and always say, I support LGBTQ plus. Right? And I don't care. Listen, there's people out there that run YouTube channels that like talking about me. I don't care if you do. I'm just going to say this. If you're okay with that fact of what Juno said, you're okay with the fact that this person said being gay is a consolation prize when gay men have fought for the rights that they have today way back when, right? Way back when. And now these people like Juno Dawson are coming in and absolutely destroying everything that they worked for. Sick of them. And now a few celebrities, you've seen the video, a few celebrities are coming out now and they're pretending to be anti-woke, right? But they forget that people have receipts from videos and interviews that they did, and they're showing people exactly what they're all about. Hypocrites. I asked a legitimate question. He had a thin skin and decided to respond. I responded in kind, and then I decided to do a little bit of a diss track. And if you haven't heard it, it's kind of Eurovision inspired, but it's about Ryland. And I thought it was very fitting because obviously he's doing the Eurovision or the Cosmic Vision, whatever it's fucking called, episode. The most expensive one given to a trans writer, right? The trans writer who said being gay is a consolation prize. All right. That's the type of people that RTD has working on this show, right? And people wonder why the show has gone down the fucking tubes. Well, that's your answer, right fucking there. And it's about time that she's all fucking copped on and woke up to the fucking situation. This is a science fiction show, right? It's a family fucking show, right? Kids and fucking parents watch the show together, brothers and fucking sisters, right? And they watch it for space adventures. They don't watch it to get a fucking lecture on climate change or being told that they're horrible people because they don't accept trans ideology or whatever other bullshit you are peddling. Anyway, that's 14 minutes of me just ranting before we've even gotten into the article, right? We're going to get into the article now in a minute. I've just got something to do here now. We got the membership gifting again. And I will be doing a membership stream very soon, right? So I'm going to use some of my hours to do a because I haven't done a membership stream. And it's going to be obviously membership, so it's only open to members. But the good thing about it is that if people want to come on in private, they don't have to worry about everybody else hearing what they have to fucking say. If they want to hear what we have to say, they have to pay for that fucking privilege. Right, so if people are afraid to speak up, because I know in this day and age there is a lot of people, whether it's politics, whether it's TV, entertainment, whatever it is, people are afraid to open their mouths again, right? Because it's just gone crazy. Never be afraid to fucking speak up for what you believe in, right? And I'm never going to stop speaking up for this show and hoping that they do right by it. Right, what kind of fucking fan would I be if I just turned me back on it? I'm not criticising anybody, by the way, that has walked away, because I understand why some people have, right? The amount of bullying and crap that some people have had to endure in this fandom, I know it's taken its toll, and I understand fully, right? But I'd made you a promise from day one, and I think people forget this, so I want to reaffirm it. I told you that I would not stop until I saw BBC do right by this show. I told you that I would stick up for the fandom and I'd stick up for what we believe in. Right? That was my promise on day one when I started out. Right? And there's a few people in this chat that were here from day one. And that was the pledge that I made. And I said I'd literally have to die in front of my computer screen to get me stop me talking about Doctor Who, right? And I'm sticking to that, right? This show deserves better. You fans deserve better, right? The British public deserve better. This is an iconic show. Yeah, some people out there laugh about Doctor Who, but the thing about it is, even those people that laugh about Doctor Who know how significant that show is. Right? They know what it means to people. So there's a mutual respect there. But over these last few years, well, it's become a fucking joke again. 80s repeating itself all over again. And you think the fandom would cop on. Anyway, I'm about to gift 5 memberships here. It's random. I wish I could just give it to certain, but it's random. So here we go. Let's hope that some people that haven't got them, that I'm hoping, finally get one. So here we go. The first 5 are going in now. Right, I don't even know any of these people. Iris of Chaos, I do know. I don't even know who some of these people are. But there you go. That's the way it works. Let's see. I'll just do the other 5 now and get it done and over with. What? Because God knows when I'll be able to do another proper live stream. So here's the other 5 now. Stigma later, Fat Stevens. It's Fat Stevens again. And the others I don't. Again, this is stupid. Anyway, there you go. That's the memberships. I'm gonna have to figure out and see if there's a way that I can gift them to certain people. It's absolutely ridiculous. That is. I mean, some of these people haven't even shown up in the chat in bleeding years, and on top of that, some of them I don't even know. Anyway, that's how it works. Right, let's get into this article. I've had my phone charging there. Right, as I said, the article's in the link description if you want to check it out. And why did this? What the hell is going on here now? All right, I have it. A panic is over. So, when no, I don't want to. What he's doing? No, how'd you? I hate the way they do this in articles now. They deliberately throw up these things to kind of block the article. You can still read it, but they make it awkward. They want you to subscribe, you know. All of these media outlets now clamoring because the mainstream media are obviously, you know, well, we know what we think about the mainstream media. But these little papers, you know, they need to fucking stop this bullshit putting things behind a paywall. But I have it anyway. So the headline obviously reads, and I have to fix it on YouTube because my computer some of the buttons are stuck, and I've just realised that BBC is not spelled properly on the bleeding video. But I'll sort that when it goes up on the channel properly. When Doctor Who finally dies, the BBC will have blood on its hands. And this article was put out on the 2nd of March. And for some weird reason, underneath it, it has / disability. I don't know what that means, but so word reaches us from another part of the universe. Okay, it's Wales. That speculation mounts that Doctor Who, which has seen its audience hemorrhage from 8 million to 2 million. By the way, that's a success to all the knobheads out there that are actually saying, "Oh, but it's grand. It's grand. People in Puerto Rico are watching Doctor Who. People in Peru are watching Doctor Who. You know, people in the Caribbean islands are watching Doctor Who. Gives a shit who's watching it, right? The main markets are the UK, the American market, and I would even say the Canadian market because Doctor Who was big in Canada as well, and Australia, right? Okay? So don't tell me it's a success when it's lost 6 million people, right? Ain't a success. It might have went global, right? Might have went global, right? But if it's dying in the main markets, which it is, right? It doesn't matter where if it's doing well in fucking Spain or it's doing well in bleeding Japan or wherever else. And I'm just, by the way, I'm not saying it's doing well in Japan or Spain. I'm just naming random fucking countries out there because that's how stupid this spin is, right? They all know quite well that the main markets are the UK, the American market, and I would even have to say the Australian market, as I said, and it's big in Canada, so you could mix America and the Canadian market together. But they're the main places. If it's not doing well there, then you don't have a successful show, right? Fucking Peru or wherever else it's fucking, get away. So it's a hemorrhaged 8 million. So it's gone from 8 million to 2. Maybe about to be pulled. Filming of the second series was was in the can. The actor is to make a film in the US. Disney is expected to withdraw its 100 million contribution, and those working on it have been reassigned after Doctor Who filmed his regeneration. The BBC has said no final decision has been made. Now they're claiming that that a regeneration has been filmed, and that has been the rumor that's been going around ever since we saw them coming back for. Apparently, they were doing reshoots for the last episode, and that was actually confirmed because the Doctor Who location page, which follows Doctor Who all over the place when they're doing the filming, were there when they were actually filming. So that is true. There was filming done. Now, whether it was a regeneration scene or not, we will have to wait and see. But that's what the rumor is that it was a regeneration scene. Okay. It is not the Dalek Cybermen or Weeping Angels which have put the good Doctor in mortal danger. It is the years of preachy storylines, virtue signal, tick box companions, underwhelming opposition in the days of writer Chris Chibnall, for example, Rosa Parks, The Partition of India, a pregnant man giving birth. The decline began when Jodie Whittaker, an outstanding actress, according to this journalist, I would disagree with you on that one now, I think she's mediocre, became the Doctor. The BBC, pursuing its inclusivity agenda, which with programs riddled with subliminal messaging. This fucking journalist trying to fucking get me down. Said the program needed a strong woman, seemingly forgetting about Rose, Amy Pond, Clara Oswald, River Song, Sarah Jane, all of those female companions that came before. You know, they start talking about how like they needed to empower feminists and all of this. Like, the female companion was just as important as the Doctor. But yeah, they trivialized that and made it out that the companion wasn't important to justify this casting. And by the way, it was the wrong casting. And I'll say it again, which I said from day one, right? The Doctor is a male character. End the fucking story. Okay? And anybody that disagrees with that, well, quite frankly, you're a moron. Okay? As I said, you know, the Whittaker era started the decline, the proper decline. Okay, I know Peter's numbers were coming down, but they weren't coming down as much as they came down after Jodie came in. Yes, she might have started off very strong, but look how that ended up indeed. So let's continue. Where is it? Here we go. Reverse song. Is it not letting me go any further with this article? Don't do this to me. Hold on. There has to be a way of doing this. How do you do it? There. I think I got it now, haven't I? There. Aha! Got it. I thought I did. No, I think that is that it. That can't be it. I think it is. Oh, Ted's alive. Hey, Ted. I could read. Do you know what? This is weird because I could read this whole. I don't think that's the whole article, man. Because I remember it went down a bit longer than that. I don't know why it's not letting me read the rest of this fucking article. It's telling me to subscribe for £1. I don't want to subscribe. Right? Why should I have to subscribe to read an article anyway? This is bull. How they've monetized all of this crap. Right? They knew that. I don't get this bullshit. Hold on, I'm going to get it up on the computer. They're not getting. They're not. Hold on. Like, that's stupid. You let me read. Like, get away. Right, here we go. There. Yeah, I knew there was more. Yeah, whatever. Right, here we go. So then came Russell T with his roguery. On his watch, we've had Planet Katrina, whatever the fuck, Trey, a vehicle for an hour of mocking Christianity against the backdrop of Black Lives Matter. News dominating the media with an episode on genetically impure Daleks. In the episode, the Star Beast and Alien told the Doctor his preferred pronouns. Beep the meepies, remember that? An episode set in the Beatles era had an arch villain who was a drag artist. Another storyline told us that planet Orphan 55 is actually the Earth in the future after an ecological disaster. By last August, the Doctor was no longer female. He was gay too, and we had the gay kiss at 7:25 p.m. long before the watershed, with parents contacting Ofcom as the sexual innuendo was inappropriate for children. And that was absolutely right. But you'll have some morons in this fandom defending it because, you know, most of them have fled over to Blue Sky, you know, that app for certain people. Yeah, well, they've all went over there. Even some of the classic cast have vacated X and have gone over to Blue Sky. But this is what you're dealing with. They think it's actually all right to do a gay kiss at 7:30, right? Before the watershed. I remember growing up, if they did that like that, there was fucking huge condemnation of it, right? There'd be absolutely fury, there would. Well, you can't subject children to that kind of stuff, they would say, right? But nowadays, it's if you don't allow us to do that, you're bigoted. No, maybe we just don't want to expose our kids to sex at an early age. Maybe we want them to grow up to be kids. And then when it comes the time for all of that, then it'll be the right time, not when you fucking decide. I mean, it's not that fucking hard. You can't be that fucking stupid. But it seems like you are. And the BBC threw everything at its global franchise, including big name stars, a big budget, superb production values, new lenses and CGI, but the audience declined further. If you like misogynistic in turn, well, I got called all of those names, but you know what? Sticks and stones may break me bones, but you know, words, they're just fucking words now. Words will never hurt me, all right? They can call me whatever they want, right? I've been called the N-word as well. You know, the bad German word. They like calling me a bad German now as well. You know, it's mad. It's mad, it is. There was much talk of the BBC respecting the programme's past, but in reality, it has a total disregard for the backstory and was more than willing to jettison the loyal core audience. And that's what they have done. And they've replaced them with these little weirdos that the highlight for them is the Doctor saying that he was Velma in the latest trailer, or what got their pulses going was the fact that they shipped two people that shouldn't have been shipped and they were hoping for that lesbian kiss. That's what gets them going. They don't actually give a shit about storyline or anything like that. It's who's fucking who. That's what they're interested in. Let's see who has pronouns. Let's see who's trans. That's what matters to us. We don't give a shit about the story. The storylines can be as shit as they can, but once you squeeze in as much diversity and inclusion you can, we're happy. That's the type of gobshite they have following this show. And the fans out there that actually know that this is all wrong and support all of this, you're just as bad as all of these loonies. Yous don't get off scot-free. Yous have helped damage this show because yous won't come out and tell the truth because yous are fucking cowards. The problem from the outset for the BBC has been that Whovians without regenerating were around in 1963, and remember the teachers who were concerned about Susan Foreman in An Unearthly Child. Now, if you read the latest Doctor Who magazine, you have some gobshite saying that Susan Foreman was queer. Yeah, this is the type of bullshit that you're getting, and that was allowed in the Doctor Who magazine, right? Apparently, she was queer. No, she wasn't fucking queer, right? And do you know why he says they were? Because they acted differently. Well, maybe that's because they were from a different century. It's not that fucking hard, right? But this is the thing that we see through. You just want to make everybody LGBTQ. And for what? And for what? Because you think you are oppressed. Nobody's oppressed, right? You aren't oppressed, right? You have more fucking rights and privileges than you did back in the day. I would love to see you fuckers back in the day, right? Okay? You haven't got a fucking clue how far we have come. But now, you're never happy. You're like Oliver Twist, which is a bowel. Please, sir, give me some more. Give me some more. We're oppressed. We're oppressed. We're oppressed because people are fighting back because we want the trans children. People are pushing back because we're exposing children to drag. Rightly fucking so. Right? Have a problem with that? Don't give a shit. Right, it's your issue, not mine. Anyway, so Susan Foreman in an unearthly child whose eccentric grandfather had no police box in the junkyard. The sets were ropey and shaky with a small budget, but good triumphed over evil. The programme was for children. When Whittaker took the role, BBC argued little girls up and down the land were punching in the air in delight. Perhaps they weren't allowed to stay up to influence those damning Barb figures. And this is the thing. After all of this screaming, and that's the end of the article, by the way, with all the screaming and shouting they did over a female doctor, all it did was actually destroy the show. And now we're seeing the further decline of one of the greatest franchises that I believe has ever existed, and they give zero fucks about these type of fans, right? The bottom line is, right, okay, they're not fans, they're fake, okay, they're like locusts, right? If Doctor Who does get cancelled, don't worry, they won't be gutted and devastated, right? The only thing they'll be gutted and devastated about is the fact that they didn't see a companion scissor another companion, or the Doctor didn't kiss the same sex or whatever. That's all they'd miss, right? They wouldn't actually miss the show like we would, okay? So that's what they've pandered to, right? And you know what? I'm so glad, because I've noticed this. There's people out there that have always been very balanced. Now, I will admit that I have let emotion get the better of me over these last few years when it's came to this show. But there has been, and I have tried to be balanced. And I think overall, considering all the shit that I've been through and all of that, I've been balanced enough, but being true to myself, right? But you got people out there that have been really, really balanced. And, have given this show every chance to improve. But I'm even noticing those people now have finally had enough and are speaking up. And to me, it's wonderful to say, yeah, it's sad at the same time, but it's wonderful because it means that to me, that there are fans out there that are finally waking up to all of this nonsense. And there does need to be fucking questions asked and answers given by the BBC. Is this the future of the show now? Are we just going to have exclusively LGBTQ plus people working on the show? Is it a no straight zone? Right? And people can laugh at that all they want. Okay? That's a genuine question to ask in 2025 in the current climate. Right? And that's what riled Ryland up. Right? And he had such a thin skin that he decided to respond back, or don't tell me wife. What kind of comeback was that anyway, mate? I mean, people were saying, he destroyed Noel's own. He didn't destroy anyone. See, I know all of that means something to you, ratio and all of that, right? He's a celebrity. I'd expect him to get more likes and more retweets than me, okay? That means jack shit. Do you think I'm worried about the fact that he got more likes or whatever? My comments got everybody talking, right? My comments got everybody talking because even the little bitches that have been in the woodwork are starting to speak up again. But I'll just tell you is now, don't even bother. Don't even bother. If you just want to keep continuing to kiss RTD's ass, go ahead. Kiss RTD's ass, right? There's going to be some of us out there that are going to tell it as it is, right? And we all know yous are sellouts anyway because, you know, you get the little goodies. You will obviously get the invite to go to the premiere of the very first episode of the new season, right? And you will get a sneak peek of the next episode. I think that's the way to do it or whatever, right? But you soldiers are souls to be close to the showrunner and to be close to the show to try and influence it, right? So you guys, to me, don't matter. You guys are actually worse than the showrunner because if you guys that have the influence that are out there actually spoke up and told the truth about this show, right? And said, fuck it, you know what? Going to a premiere is not worth seeing my show that I grew up with being destroyed. See, that's the attitude I'd have because I'm a fan. And that's why I believe that most of you are not fans. You just jumped onto this franchise because it happened to be popular at the time when you jumped on it and you saw an opportunity to get yourselves in there because with Doctor Who and fans, it's always been a close connection. And we've seen over the recent years that even Big Finish, they're incorporating more fans into writing Big Finish audios and books and all of this other shit, right? And that's what yous are in it for. Yous are hoping to get up that next step. So yous are sellouts as far as I'm concerned. Right? These are sellouts. So when I see these people attempting to attack me or attempting to say that, you know, oh yeah, you got racial boy, right? I don't give a shit. Listen for a minute, right? As I said, right, when he responded, all he showed me is that he's a triggered little bitch, right? And I'm surprised that the BBC, and I know he'll come out crying now in these articles, people are homophobic against me. Nobody's homophobic. You just don't like your island. You think you're an arrogant sod. And to be quite honest with you, most of the British public are fucking sick and tired of seeing your face on TV. You're everywhere. And now you're in Doctor Who thanks to Juno. But of course, you've sold your soul because Juno, as I said, you know, said that being gay is a consolation prize. So congratulations for being a fucking sellout, right? Right? Yeah, gay men and lesbians, bisexual people been fighting for fucking their rights for fucking decades, and then you come along and sell your fucking soul for a few quid. Get away, right? And go check out me this song because it's actually funny, right? I tell them don't get triggered and to go out and touch the grass because that's what you need to do, mate. Go and touch for some fucking grass, right? The bottom line is, my comment was not aimed at you, right? I should have actually looked because BBC did actually tag him But I'd only realised after I'd sent the fucking. But I wasn't actually directing it at him. I was directing it at the BBC because I wanted to know. I wanted to know where we stand as Doctor Who fans. Is this the way it's going to go now? Is this show going full blown LGBTQ plus? Let us know. We have a right to know. We've been fans of this show for decades, and if you're going to push us to one side because you're going to keep pushing this shit, we have a right to know. And this is why so many of us are hoping that the show gets cancelled, because you don't deserve it. You don't deserve to have Doctor Who, because you don't respect it. Yeah, they do get triggered when you say the shows from 1963 to 2017, and I've actually changed my Facebook group to actually that. So it's 2005 to 17. We'll still talk about what's happening with the shit show, of course, but when anybody joins that group, they will know that this is what we believe. That's when we believe Doctor Who ended. I'm not going to. I know some fans, have totally dismissed New Who completely, and it finishes with the movie for them or whatever their cut off point is. But I will not dismiss New Who just because of what RTD is doing now, because he's first era for me. I like it, and I'm not going to deny that. I'm not going to change my opinion on that just because I don't like him now. And I do I've grown to love Moffat's era. As you know, yourselves, I was very critical of Moffat in some instance, but I've gotten to really enjoy his Doctor Who over the last few years. So, yeah, look, the bottom line is, as I said, we will get a decision. And when the decision comes, right, and the decision is, let's just say the decision is it's cancelled, right, or it's not, Disney are not going forward with the deal, right? I think there'll be a lot of fans out there, right, will have to face the reality of the fact that this show wasn't successful. And that's going to be hard and a bitter pill for some of them to swallow. But they need a reality check, right? They need a reality check. And when they get that reality check, they're going to turn on us, because that's what they do. They won't accept that they're responsible for the downfall, right? They want someone to blame. So they'll blame us. But the fact of the matter is they're responsible, and the little sellout fans that get their little exclusives and get to go to the premieres, they're all them little sellouts, right? And they are sellouts, by the way, and I don't care if you like some of them personally, because they don't upset the apple carts. Anybody that's working for this current regime is a sellout. Every single one of them, right? End of fucking story. Anybody associated with the current team is a sellout, right? Just like the fans that were close to the production team under Chibs, they were sellouts as well. And the same people that are selling out there are selling out here, with a few extra selling out. But they're all sellouts, right? And that is the truth. Okay? And I don't care if I get attacked for saying that. It's the truth. They're sellout little fuckers, because if they actually spoke up, we'd probably get somewhere, right? BBC would probably listen, right? Because they're in there. But no, they choose to keep their mouths shut. Oh, because I get me little Doctor Who goodies. Oh. And that's why I've always hated fans like them, and I've always called them out from day one. I don't like fans like that. You get too close to this production team, right? I'm telling you now, your position gets clouded, right? It's a fact. It's logical as well. Of course, your position is going to change if you sell out. I remember one particular fella, I won't mention his name, but he had opinions one way, and then he saw it was more profitable to go against people like us. So he sold out and he ended up getting rewarded for it. And that's what it's all about, right? They're sellouts, all of them. And I don't care whose feelings that hurts, right? Someone was giving out the fact that I said that anybody that supports RTD2 is a rumour and a Tito foil, right? And someone had an issue with that. Someone had an issue to that. Why would you have an issue with that? It's the truth. It's the truth, right? Because you would want to be perverted to like this era of Doctor Who. Sorry, but you would, with all of the shite that they're pushing in it. Right? So if you have a problem, sorry, Ted, I'm talking. If you have a problem with me saying that, well, then you know what? It's not a good look, let's just say. Right? Bottom line is, I will speak my mind, and I said I would, and I'm going to continue to speak my mind. Doctor Who is back, baby, and so fucking I. And if you think, here's the thing though, right? If anybody thought I was bad during the Jodie Whittaker era, right? Because I was quite calm during the first season and even the specials of RTD, right? But the gloves are off after the way he's behaved since then, right? The gloves are off. So if you thought I was harsh on Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker, well, you haven't seen that yet. I'm only getting fucking started, right? And it won't be just them that I'll be calling out. It'll be all you little sellout little rats as well that I'm calling out, right? If this show is going down, yeah, well, I'm going to be here and I'm going to be a voice all the way through, and to remind you little scumbags, right, who's responsible for the downfall of this show. Because it's not just RTD, as I said. Imagine just supporting the show no matter what they do with it because you just want it to stay on air. I mean, that is the most ridiculous reason to support the show. If you know the show is bad, right, you should just fucking speak up and say it. It doesn't mean that you hate Doctor Who. It means that you want it to be the best version that it can be, right? And I hate the way they twist it, that anybody that argues about Doctor Who hates Doctor Who. No, I don't hate Doctor Who. I grew up with, listen, I'm in my 40s, right? I'm watching this show since the 80s, okay? I'm watching this show since the 80s. There's people been watching it longer than me, okay? And basically what you're doing to those people is you're sticking two fingers up at them and saying you're not welcome anymore, right? But here's the thing. Some of us are not going to just walk away, as I said. We're going to be vocal and continue to be vocal. So I will continue to be vocal and continue to call people out and continue to do what I do until this show is either cancelled, taken off the air, or it starts improving. Because obviously if it starts improving, then I will start talking positively about Doctor Who like I've always wanted to do. Okay? A lot of us that do this, we want to talk about Doctor Who in positive terms, but they haven't given us enough substance to talk about in positive terms, right? Weak character development or non-existent character development. No, absolutely ridiculous storylines, right? Not even a plot in sight. Okay, not even a plot in sight. Uses plot devices to move the plot on. This is not the RTD that we knew back in the day anyway, right? It's like he's come in and he just doesn't give a fuck. He just has it in his head. I have an agenda, but I don't care if I write a good show. Just once I could cram in all of me bullshit, who gives a shit? And this is the same fella, by the way, that a few years ago was criticising Disney for the wokery. But of course, he went to America, drank the Kool-Aid, and yeah, well, the rest is fucking history. The rest is history. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Uh, I think everybody can agree right now that this show cannot keep going in the same vein. And I have to be honest, I don't see, this is just an opinion. I don't see Doctor Who's future being on Disney Plus for the simple fact of the matter is President Trump, and he signed that executive order. Disney will have to change how they do things now. There'll be no more DEI hires and all of this other fucking shite that they've been doing. And that is going to actually hurt Doctor Who. So if Disney are looking at that from that point of view, well, then you would have to say the show is gone. And that's just an opinion, right? Because I know there's lunatics out there, right? They clip little things that I've said, and then they cut out the most important part, and then just frame it as if he's saying, "Oh, he's saying the show." Right? That's just my opinion. I don't think it can go on Disney if this is the way things are being done, right? Because the only way it's going to happen is if RTD steps down and fucks off completely, right? And Disney insist, if you want to keep this deal going, BBC, well then we have to do things right. You have to give us a sci-fi show now. So this could be another reason why Disney are waiting to make any decision, right? Because Doctor Who could be affected. Because ask yourselves this. If RTD was to continue, do you think he's going to change course now? If you look at what's coming in season 2 and you look at all the activist writers that he's brought in, do you actually think that he would be willing to change course for the 3rd season to get it on Disney Plus? He's not going to change course. RTD, unfortunately, is a bitter old man right now, and he is angry with the world, the way he perceives it's going. The thing about it is, what he doesn't realize is, and he is on the wrong side of history, and maybe that's a personal battle that he'll have to fight eventually when he realizes he is on the wrong side of history. But this isn't a man that's going to change his path, his course. So it's either RTD goes or the whole thing goes. Simple as that. Right? Now, if they manage to get another streaming service, if Disney does pull out, I just think it'd be stupidity for any other streaming service anyway. Right? Why would you gamble on Doctor Who if Disney, one of the biggest streaming services, if not the biggest streaming service in the world, has decided to pull the deal? Why would a Netflix or a Prime or a Amazon Prime or any of these other streaming service, why would they take a risk with Doctor Who, the biggest? The only way I could see that happening is if you got someone like Bezos that says, well, I could do it better than Disney because of arrogance, right? But I don't, to me personally, it'd be a waste of millions of dollars. So why would you? That's just a personal opinion. Again, these are just opinions at the end of this stream. So anybody, cuts them and clips them, just make sure you tell your audience that I'm giving my opinion. It's not a fact. But if it keeps going on the way it is, I say we're close to seeing the end of this show. And there'll be a lot of people, not just the BBC, like that article stated, with blood on their hands. The fans that sold out will have blood in their hands as well. Oh, and also when the show does go, the best thing that as a fandom that we should do then after that fact is all of these little nutcases that have been in the fandom the last few years, they all need to be called out, right? Because they are just, as I said, as responsible for the downfall of this show than the showrunners. Remember, they facilitated, and you know, even some of them wrote articles for the Radio Times, Digital Spy, and all of these other on the instruction of these showrunners, and they did it. They sold out. Daniel thinks the show needs to be laid to rest. The problem, yeah, look, that would be ideal. Don't get me wrong, but I will say this, and I have heard people say this. I do fear, though, if it does go off air, we'll never get Doctor Who in my lifetime again, and that's something I can't comprehend or I want to deal with. Because it'd be a shame. I would love it to come back again, you know, properly. But yeah, you could be right. But if it does go off, I just have a fear that they might just, you know, call it quits. Unless someone has the gall to go to the BBC like Russell did back in the day, all those years back when he started it up again, say, I want to do Doctor Who. It is a valuable IP. That's the thing. But it's not making money. This is why they had to go cap in hand to Disney. So anybody telling you, oh, it makes a lot of money for the Welsh economy and all of this, it hasn't been making a lot of money for the Welsh economy over the last few years, and it's a fact, right? It's not bringing in the money that it used to, right? And look at the things that have closed down in relation to Doctor Who, right? These big things, what was it, the Doctor Who experience and all of that, everything in relation to Doctor Who has declined, and it's declined along with the show. The only thing that's making Doctor Who money right now is classic merchandise, right? The box sets that they're doing, all of this. And yes, some new Who merch from 2005 maybe to 2017 is selling, but the merch from onwards, Jodie Whittaker's the merch for this era is non-existent anyway. They had grand plans to release certain merchandise, Beep the Meep and all of this, and then they looked at it again. They realized that there's no will out there for it, so they kind of binned it. So if the show was successful as everybody is making it out to be, merch would be flying off the shelves, conventions would be full. They wouldn't have to actually do a convention with Star Trek like they had to do because they had a smaller audience. You know, when Doctor Who was in its heyday during the New Who, especially during the 50th anniversary, Doctor Who halls you could sell them out 3 times over, right? Some fans even missed out; they couldn't even get in because tickets gone. Right, that shit doesn't happen anymore. So don't tell me this show's successful; it's not. Right, and I'll keep saying it until you actually all wake up to the reality of that. And yeah, I'm talking about all yous who kiss RTD's ass. Right, wake up, because you know what'll happen. Like what Daniel said there, right? But it'll be even worse. Right, it mightn't come back, and you will be complicit in that because you decided to not rock the apple cart. Not say and that will upset people because I don't want to be called hurty words. I don't want fans to think I'm homophobic or a bigot or sexist or transphobic. Right, you're not any of those things. You have every right to question things, right? And this is what I said to someone, right? Because someone was giving out saying, you tried to throw the accusation at me. I says, well, nobody had a problem with Captain Jack. I says, nobody had a problem with Bill Potts. Yeah, okay, Bill Potts had to tell us, but that was the writing. But the character itself, Bill Potts, was that the character development was good. She wasn't defined by the fact that she was a lesbian. Right, Captain Jack wasn't defined because he was bisexual. Jenny and Vastra weren't defined by their relationship. Okay, and that's the difference with Doctor Who today. You know, you bring in Yasmin Finney to play Rose Noble, and the character development is so shoddy, and it is, and I don't care what anybody says, it's so low key, it's absolutely insulting to the trans people out there. And this is why we call it out. It's all superficial, right? And the fact of the matter is when he brings these characters in, they're defined by what they are, right? And that's not what they should be defined. See, this is what the left do. You know, they put us in little categories and little boxes. Everybody's neatly put away in their own little category, right? But they're more than a category or more than being put in a little box, right? They're fucking human beings, right? Like onions, we got layers, right? And that's the bullshit about it. We see through all of this, and none of you gobshites will call it out. That kiss RTD's ass. You all know it's shoddy. Anyway, we're at the hour mark, so I'm going to be, well, an hour and 2 minutes, but we're going to have to leave it there because, you know, as I said, I don't have StreamYard proper anymore, the paid one anymore. Can't afford it right now. Things are really bad here. You know, that's what war does, though. You know, that war, these wars around the world, you know, inflation goes up and the cost of living goes down, and you can't hardly afford your fucking bills now. So yeah, I'll still continue to do my little videos as I've been doing for you anyway. A lot of you like those videos anyway, and they're getting a lot of views. So I want to thank everybody that's supporting the channel in every way that you can. If you could support me right now by hitting that like button and leaving a comment after the stream goes up, that would be absolutely brilliant. That helps with the algorithm. And if you wouldn't mind sharing as well, that'll be absolutely fantastic. But I'm going to leave it there for now. But look, as I said, don't let all of the current nonsense that's coming out with all of what's happening with the show distract you. Keep your eyes peeled for articles that are talking about the future of Doctor Who, because, you know, they're the articles they want to bury. This is why I wanted to do this one today. I think it's the harshest headline to an article that I've read in all the years that I've actually been doing this. We've had some whopper headlines over the years, but I have to say that this journalist that did this opinion piece is obviously angry like the rest of us in the direction that Doctor Who has gone in, because I've never seen a headline as forceful as that. But you know what? To that journalist, fair fucking play to you for speaking up. It's at least we know that there are some journalists out there that call it exactly the way it is. And I want to thank you, journalists, because in the modern era of journalism, I know that your colleagues, the way they behave, the way they look up their nose at everybody, I know you would get some stick for putting your neck out there. So thank you to those journalists that do put their necks on the line and do call out this bullshit. Yeah. So thank you. And I want to thank you guys for dropping in. I see Jordan Jack Rabbit is there as well. We had real, well, he calls himself Super John now. I can't get used to that, Super John. I'm so used to calling you real super doctor. But obviously we know why you've changed. We had Mark there as well, who joined us. Lindsay, Scottish Davros, obviously. Daniel's here. Nice to see you, buddy. Bobby was also here as well. Nice to see you, Bobby. President Lemon, the president of Lemonade there. If you want lemonade, go to President Lemon. You won't get any better lemonade. JWC Reviews was also in the chat as well. Nice to see you as well. Thank you all for popping in. I really do appreciate all the support. These are absolutely wonderful. look out for more videos. At the moment, I'm on the Facebook group. I'm in the process of throwing up some of my songs, so there's going to be a lot of posts going up. So just like if you get a lot of notifications, you can turn them off. But I'm going to be throwing up some songs onto the YouTube, onto the Facebook group. I'm trying to be more active. I have been over the last couple of days, but I'm trying to be more active on Facebook. It's hard because everything I do is on X now. I don't even use Instagram really that much. My Instagram has been throwing up the songs on Instagram as well, just bleeding throw something up on the page. I don't even know why I joined Instagram because it's boring. Nothing happens on it. So but I'll be, as I said, I'm throwing up posts on Facebook, so look out for them. And I did throw the link to this stream up there as well. So thank you everybody on Facebook, and thank you everybody here on YouTube, and everybody on X. And my X account has exploded. In 3 days I've gotten over 1,000 new followers. So don't ask me how that happened. I think it's a combination of a few fucking tweets that I put out. But 1,000 new followers. I mean, it's the biggest jump that I've had in years on that account. But Jesus Christ, I'm blown away. So whoever's been supporting me out there, I just want to say to you all, thank you. It does mean a lot to me. I don't even have a blue check mark on X, but my account seems to be very active lately, which is absolutely brilliant because it's been dead for months, as you know, because Elon has ruined X. Don't care what anybody says. I mean, it's dead. If you don't have a blue, even the ones that have the blue check marks are given out because their account is dead. He's absolutely destroyed it, and it's full of bleeding ads. Right, and then I'm getting all of these weird conspiracy theories. Do you know all the conspiracy theories that we grew up with? That were already debunked. Well, these fuckers are reigniting them again because of all the TikTok videos, and they're dumb. They John, they brought up the one about the Titanic again. The Titanic was sunk deliberately, apparently. That's a rumor that's been going around for decades. It's been debunked ages ago. Right, it's been debunked. The Titanic is under the Atlantic. It's under the water. It's the Titanic. There's no doubt about it, right? And it wasn't sunk deliberately either, right? There was a fire on board the Titanic. They recently found new photographs. John will back me up on this. They recently found new photographs which shed light on the whole thing, right? The ship was on fucking fire, right? It was on fire when those passengers got on board. It was on fire when they were out in the middle of the ocean. And when they finally got the fire under control, it fucking hit the iceberg. The ship hit exactly where the fucking fire was. This shit at the Titanic, get away. That's Paddy the Pig's fault. By the way, that's the Irishman that started all the Titanic conspiracy. He was the one that said the Olympic and the Titanic had been switched because of insurance reasons, and ever since then there's been a spew of Titanic rumors and conspiracy theories. The bottom line is it hit an iceberg and it sunk. End of fucking story, right? There is no conspiracy, okay? There is none when it comes to the Titanic, okay? It might have had some interesting passengers on it, but at the day, in those days and on the time, right, if you were super rich, right, you had to be seen on one of these ships, okay? Okay, it was the same with fucking the Mauritania. You'd have the Stars of the Day on the Mauritania as well. Nothing fucking new here, right? The ship that's on the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean is the Titanic. And it's sad because in about 20 years' time, it's going to collapse among itself and it's going to be gone forever. So leave it out. If anybody knows anything about the Titanic, it's me and John. We've covered it on this channel, believe it or not, several occasions. We've watched even the TV show together. We've watched a few Titanic movies as well. We've delved into all of the fucking conspiracies. There's no, seriously, man, when it comes to the Titanic, there's no better fella than Super John anyway in there to talk about it. It's just great that I have a fellow man out there that actually loves the Titanic as much as me and loves the story and everything that goes with it. And we do even love the conspiracies, but they have been debunked. So fucking leave it out. Let the people rest, will you? Anyway, we might do some more Titanic stuff because there has been new stuff on Titanic that we might cover some time down the line when John and all's around, because John's very busy nowadays. We all are. We're all busy in our lives, but we'll try to organise it somehow. Anyway, I'll leave it there for now. Thank you all for tuning in. It's been an absolute pleasure hosting today. It's really given me a bit of a lift. I don't know why, but thank you. Yeah, we'll do the Titan sub. Yeah, because I've actually seen the footage of the Titan. They've actually went down, and yeah, there's something dodgy going on about that. There's a lot more going on with that now than meets the eye. I think we'll have to delve into that absolutely. But if you haven't seen that footage, John, it's actually on YouTube. So just write in about the sub that, and they'll show you the footage of it under the water. It's fucking seriously, that sub. Yeah, madness, tell you. Anyway, go on. We'll leave it there. I'm gonna go off now and have some dinner. Bye. Talk to you for the next one. You've been watching the TARDIS Zone Talks, and I'll talk to you again soon.